All right, let's talk about something that feels, well, huge. We're diving into how to break into the complex, exciting, and seriously important world of cybersecurity. If you've ever thought about it but just got stuck on where to even begin, this one's for you.
You know that feeling, right? It's this massive field with a million different paths, tools, and acronyms. It can feel like you're trying to drink from a fire hose. Honestly, it's enough to make you feel overwhelmed before you even start.
But what if you had a map, a clear, step-by-step guide that could take you from square one to having a real, solid foundation, and do it in just about a month?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to walk through right now. What we're looking at here is a fantastic plan called the 30-Day Cybersecurity Blueprint. You can think of it as your personal mentor laying out a structured, totally practical path that's made for somebody who's starting from scratch.
So, what is it really? Well, it's a 1-month learning plan that does something brilliant. It balances theory with actual hands-on practice. Look, the goal isn't to make you an expert in 30 days. That's just not possible. The goal is to build a foundation you can actually stand on and confidently build a career from. And by the end of this month, you won't just have watched some videos. You'll have done real, tangible things. You'll actually understand the core concepts. You'll have gotten your hands dirty with fundamental tools like Wireshark and Nmap. You'll even build a little project. And you'll be in a great spot to start looking at certifications like the CompTIA Security Plus.
Okay, so let's break this down week by week. It all starts with week 1, the foundations. This is all about getting your head in the game, answering that one big question. What is cybersecurity anyway?
Now, what's so smart about this first week is this 2-track approach. On one side, you're learning the what and the why, like the CIA triad, which is like the bedrock of security. That's confidentiality, keeping things secret, integrity, making sure nothing's been messed with, and availability, making sure you can get to it. But on the other side, you're doing things from day one. You're not just reading about tools, you're setting up your own virtual lab with VirtualBox and Kali Linux. It's all about doing. So, with those basics under your belt, week 2 dives right into network essentials. And why is that? It's simple. You can't protect a house if you don't know where the doors and windows are. Networking is the absolute backbone of everything we do in cybersecurity. You're going to come across something called the OSI model. Now, don't let the 7 layers freak you out. Just think of it like sending a letter. You write the letter, that's the application layer. You put it in an envelope with an address, that's the network layer. And the mail truck physically moves it, that's the physical layer. See? It's just a way to understand the journey data takes, which is key to figuring out where things can go wrong. And again, check out how the theory immediately connects to practice. You learn about IP addresses, then boom, you're using commands like ipconfig to find your own. You learn about network traffic, and then you fire up Wireshark to actually see the packets flying across your own network. It makes it real.
Which brings us to week 3, and this is where it gets really fun. We're talking tools and tactics. This is where you start to shift your mindset a bit. You start thinking less like someone just studying and more like an ethical hacker, proactively looking for weaknesses.
The blueprint introduces your first real toolkit. Nmap is like your sonar. It lets you see what's out there on a network. Wireshark is your listening device. You can eavesdrop on traffic. And platforms like TryHackMe? That's your personal gym, a safe place to practice your skills without breaking anything or any loss. So the big deal in week 3 is that shift from just learning about stuff to actually applying it. You're not just reading about what a vulnerability is. You're using Nmap to try and find one. You're not just hearing about attacks. You're in a lab environment, seeing how they work. And all of that builds up to the grand finale. Week 4, your first project. This is the moment that pulls everything you've learned in the last 3 weeks together. Knowing things is one thing, but being able to use that knowledge is everything. This is where you get to prove to yourself that you haven't just memorized a bunch of facts. You've actually built some skills. And you get to choose your own mission. Notice how practical these are? You could scan your own home network and write up what you find, or create a little phishing awareness guide for your family, or even build a checklist for securing a home router. Every single one takes what you've learned and makes it real. And just like that, it's been 30 days. 30 days of focused work to go from curious to capable. 30 days to build a launchpad for a whole new chapter in your career. Of course, having a great plan is only half the battle. So here are a few critical tips for success. Try to practice every single day, even if it's just for an hour. Don't just watch, do. And find some online communities. Trust me, learning is way easier when you're not doing it all alone.
The best part is, this 30-day blueprint isn't the finish line, it's the starting line. From here, you are perfectly set up to start studying for huge certifications like Security Plus, or to dive way deeper into areas like networking or Linux. The path forward is suddenly clear.
So, the map is laid out. The tools are there for the taking. The knowledge is more accessible than ever before. Your journey starts right now. The only question left is, what are you going to secure first?